G'day, my name's Tomo and welcome back to another episode of Tomo's Tune-Ups. On this episode we are going to be talking about the flywheel removal tool for a classic mini or moke. So here's another engine that I've prepared earlier and you can see it in the series listed above. So what do we need to do and why do we need to use this tool to remove the flywheel? Well, because you have to tighten the flywheel to about 150 foot-pound, it does squash the flywheel onto the crankshaft. And because of that, it does make it very hard to remove. Without a specific puller, it is very difficult to remove without damaging the flywheel or even the clutch assembly. So this is the tool that they sell at Minisport. Now, it does come with two different types of bolts. There is a gold bolt and there is a silver bolt. As you can see, if you look really closely, they do have two different threads. One is imperial, the other one is metric. So depending on the application, you can choose the bolt needed to remove the flywheel. So it does come with a couple of washers, so make sure you use them. So what you want to be doing is starting off by working out which one you need to use in order to remove the flywheel. Alright, so you can determine which bolts you need to use by simply looking inside the flywheel and determining whether it is a coarse thread or if it is a fine thread. Now we're going to start off with the fine thread and hope that we got it right. So we've got it right, so we know it is the fine threaded bolts. So what we're going to be doing is removing the bolt. We're going to be grabbing all three and then fitting the tool. Now I should also mention the tool does come with a little stop. This little stop sits directly in the end of the crankshaft and prevents any damage going internally and damaging the thread of the crankshaft. So what we're going to be doing is grabbing the tool and fitting it with the step facing outwards. So it's just going to sit directly on the end of the thread like that. That way it's not going to do any damage. You're going to grab each of your bolts, put one in each side, do it up finger tight to start off with, get the other one started and then come back and tighten them all. Alright, so once everything is tight, so by tight I don't mean you need to swing off it, but just grab yourself a spanner or a socket, nip these bolts up here and then you're ready to go. So once you've done that, grab yourself a 15-16 socket and slowly start to wind the bolt in. Now remember that flywheels are quite heavy, so if you are not expecting it, chances are it's probably going to fall like it did there and probably fall on the ground. So grab it nice and easy and then inspect the flywheel, have a good look, make sure there's no heat spots or any sort of warping at all, as well as the clutch face. And this is the perfect time to not only renew the clutch, but also check to see if the main seal behind the primary gear is leaking. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you learned something. This tool is also a must for anyone doing any sort of work on a classic mini or moke, whether it be your own or someone else's. You can use this tool when it's in the car, but you can also use it when it is out, like this engine on the engine stand. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to check out the full range at minisport.com.au and we'll see you right here on another episode of Tomo's Tune-Ups.